Have you ever wondered about Bitcoin? It's that digital money you hear about on the news. People talk about mining it, which, sounds a lot like digging for gold. So that brings up a really interesting question. If you were to use your computer at home right now to start mining, how long would it take to earn just one single dollar? Would it be a few minutes? An hour? A day? You might think that since it's just $1, it would be pretty quick. The answer, however, is a little more complicated, and frankly, it's pretty surprising. It reveals a lot about how Bitcoin works and why it's so special. Let's set the stage. Today is August 7th, 2025. The world of technology is moving faster than ever. We have computers in our pockets that are more powerful than the ones that sent astronauts to the moon. So, it seems logical that your trusty home computer or laptop could join in on this digital gold rush and start earning some money. The idea is exciting. You leave your computer on, it does some work, and digital coins appear in your account. But the reality of Bitcoin mining is a fascinating journey into computer science, economics, and pure, raw power. The journey to that first dollar is much, much longer than you'd imagine. To really get to the bottom of this, we need to think like a scientist. We need to look at the evidence. The evidence in this case is math. Lots and lots of math. So, what does mining Bitcoin actually mean? It doesn't involve a pickaxe or a dusty mine shaft. Instead, it's all about solving puzzles. Think of the Bitcoin network as a giant public book of records, called the blockchain. Every time someone sends or receives Bitcoin, it's recorded as a transaction. These transactions are gathered together into a list, which we call a block. The job of a miner is to take this block of transactions, do some very specific and difficult math, and add it to the big public book. It's like being a digital accountant, but instead of just writing things down, you have to solve a super hard riddle to prove you did the work correctly. This puzzle isn't something a human can solve. It's a guessing game, but for computers. The computer has to guess a specific number, called a nonce. It takes the list of transactions, adds a random number to it, and then runs it through a special mathematical function called a hash. The goal is to get a result that starts with a certain number of zeros. The only way to find the right number is to guess and guess and guess again, millions or even billions of times per second. The first computer on the network to guess the correct number gets to add the new block to the blockchain and, as a reward, receives some brand new Bitcoin. Now, let's talk about your computer at home. You might have a pretty nice one. Maybe it's a powerful gaming PC with a top-of-the-line graphics card, or a sleek new laptop that can handle dozens of tasks at once. For everyday things like browsing the web, streaming movies, or playing video games, it's fantastic. But when it comes to the specific task of Bitcoin mining, it's like bringing a spoon to a digging competition against a fleet of giant excavators. The problem is that your computer's brain, its central processing unit or CPU, is a generalist. It's designed to do many different things well, but it's not a specialist at the one thing Bitcoin mining requires: hashing. Early on, in the first couple of years of Bitcoin's existence, you actually could mine with a regular CPU. The puzzles were much, much easier back then. But as more people joined the network, the competition grew. People quickly figured out that graphics cards, or GPUs, were much better at the repetitive guessing game of hashing. A GPU has thousands of small cores designed to handle graphics calculations in parallel, which happens to be perfect for making thousands of guesses at once. This discovery kicked off an arms race. Home miners started building computers with multiple graphics cards just for mining. But the race didn't stop there. The next big leap was the creation of ASICs. That stands for Application-Specific Integrated Circuit. These are computer chips designed to do one thing and one thing only: mine Bitcoin as fast as humanly possible. An ASIC can't browse the internet, it can't run a video game, and it can't open a spreadsheet. All it can do is hash, millions of times faster and more efficiently than even the best graphics card. Today, the entire Bitcoin mining industry is dominated by these specialized machines. They are housed in huge data centers, often located in places with cheap electricity. So if you were to turn on your home computer today and start mining, its hashing power would be a tiny drop in a colossal ocean. The total hashing power of the Bitcoin network is measured in exahashes per second. That's a quintillion guesses every single second. Your computer might be able to make a few million guesses per second, which sounds like a lot, but it's nothing compared to the global total. You would be competing against an entire planet's worth of hyper-specialized hardware. It's not a fair fight, and your computer, sadly, stands almost no chance of ever solving a block on its own. So we're back to our original question. How long does it take to mine $1 of Bitcoin with a home computer? Let's do some back-of-the-napkin math. First, we need to consider the cost of electricity. A decent home computer might use around 200 watts of power. Running it 24/7 uses a lot of electricity, and that costs real money. In many places, you would likely spend more on electricity each day than the tiny fraction of a Bitcoin you could ever hope to mine. You would actually be losing money from the very first minute you started. Let's ignore the electricity cost for a moment and just focus on the time. Given the immense difficulty of the network in 2025, a standard home computer mining on its own would, on average, take an incredibly long time to solve a block. We're not talking about days or weeks, we are talking about years, dozens of years, maybe even hundreds or thousands of years. The probability is so low that for all practical purposes, it's zero. You have a better chance of winning the lottery multiple times in a row. It's just not a feasible way to earn anything. This is why the world of mining has shifted from individuals to mining pools. A mining pool is a group of thousands of miners who all combine their computer power. They all work together on solving the same block puzzle. When someone in the pool finds the solution, the block reward is shared among everyone, distributed based on how much work each person contributed. By joining a pool, you can earn a very small but steady stream of Bitcoin. However, even with a pool, your home computer's contribution would be so minuscule that you'd earn a tiny fraction of a cent per day. To finally answer the question, mining $1 of Bitcoin with a typical home computer would likely take months, if not years, even in a mining pool. And that's before you subtract the cost of electricity, which would probably be more than $1 anyway. This is the surprising truth. Bitcoin mining is no longer a hobby for enthusiasts with home PCs. It has become a highly professional, industrial-scale industry. The days of mining a few Bitcoins on your laptop are long gone, a fascinating chapter in the early history of a technology that has since grown into a global phenomenon. Fun fact: the total energy used by Bitcoin mining is often compared to the energy consumption of entire countries.